Hello and welcome to Business Reporter's Improving Business Performance campaign. I'm Alistair Greener. From banking to retail, from telecoms to insurance, AI is transforming customer engagement worldwide. The transformation is driven by the need for efficiency at scale, as well as by increased customer expectations. And yet, in trying to automate away live agents, many organisations are now stuck with generic chatbots that are unable to meet the customer's needs. Conversational AI could resolve that problem, if you have the right partner for implementing it, that is. Today, we're talking to Sanjeev Gulati at Virtusa, a leading provider of conversational AI, about the future of customer engagement. Good morning, Sanjeev.
Good morning, Alistair.
So to start off with, what are the main frictions that are still bugging the customer experience today?
So I think a customer gets very frustrated when they experience long wait times when they make a call to sort out some issue with the business that they are transacting with. And besides that, the menus that they experience are very confusing at times. And all of this becomes extremely difficult, even worse, when there are times like COVID times that we are experiencing today, or even in regular times, in the festival season, when there's a lot of business being transacted, things get a lot worse. I think that those are the key challenges that are out there right now.
What's the main challenge for organizations that are trying to make these interactions more efficient and engaging?
In today's scenario, the way you can make these conversations more engaging is by really throwing in more people. Unless you are leveraging technology, you really have to solve this problem by throwing in more people. If there is a sudden spurt in demand, you throw in more people, which absolutely is impossible if you are trying to do this over a few days, because you need to hire people, you need to train them, you need to deploy them. All of this takes time. So it's absolutely impossible to solve this problem the way most contact centers are configured right now, which is largely human oriented.
Now, you mentioned leveraging technology. Organizations have been investing in technology for years. So what is it that they have to do differently?
I agree. They've been doing this for a long time. There is also the use of chatbots that businesses have brought into their contact center. But I think technology has evolved and evolved very rapidly. So you have things like conversational AI, which are available now, which are a massive step up on chatbot technology, which has existed for a while now. While some businesses are quick to adopt to new technologies, I think there is still a lot of businesses out there that still have to go from chatbots to conversational AI. That's a big shift that has to happen, and many businesses are still to catch up on.
Okay, tell us a little bit more about Virtusa. How do you help?
Virtusa is a world leader in delivering conversational AI solutions. One has to understand that conversational AI is not a one-size-fits-all. There is a lot of domain and context relevance that you need to bring in. And the fact that for the last 20 years of our existence, we've really focused on a few industry verticals like healthcare, banking, insurance, telecom, and high tech. There's a lot of learning of the domain and of the business that we bring to the table, which means we can take a conversational AI solution, make it relevant to your context as a business, and deliver a world-class conversational AI solution.
Once installed, is conversational AI completely hands-off, or is there still some human supervision?
I think that's a great question. I would say to some extent it depends on how effectively and with how much understanding of the domain and business aspects of things has the solution been implemented with. I mean, if you have an understanding of how the business works, you can do a more effective job of conversational AI implementation. somewhere between 80 to 85% and even up to 90% of automation can be achieved, which means if you currently have 100 people in your contact center, human beings, and if you do a good job of implementing a conversational AI solution, you can actually bring down that 100 down to 10, definitely down to 15 to 20, but somewhere between 80 to 85 to 90% elimination of human intervention is possible with current technology.
Maybe could you give us an example of a client whose contact center you helped transform through AI?
Alistair, we've implemented many of these solutions, but the one that I particularly feel very excited about and we are very proud of, the project is still underway, but there is a global bank that we have been involved with right from the beginning of their conversational AI implementation journey. There are multiple stages of our involvement. The very first one was the selection of an AI platform, which given the plethora of AI platforms out there, I think it's an important decision for any enterprise. The second is understanding the customer journeys and the business context and the relevance of the various issues that can come up, customer issues that a bot needs to be able to solve. And that understanding then goes into how the bot is programmed, how it is constructed. That's the second aspect of it. And then the third phase, which is where you bring in the machine learning aspects, the self-learning aspects, for example, the natural language processing aspects into the day-to-day functioning of the bot. So across the board, in all the three areas, we've actually been helping this particular global bank. The results have been fantastic.
How did you measure success in this situation?
Look, if there is a business, when they spend money, they look at ROI, and the success factors for conversational AI, number one, what's the time to market advantage? And in this case, what we've delivered is a 40% saving in the time to market aspect of it. We've done it 40% quicker than anybody else could have. Second, because of the fact that we've used a lot of accelerators and reusable components, etc., there is this cost advantage. It's at least 30% less expensive than a similar solution implemented by anybody else. And then the third aspect, which is about client satisfaction, which is really measured in the form of how many of those conversations, whether voice conversations or online or text conversations, is a bot able to take to completion, right? Is it 40%, is it 60%, or is it 80% or higher? I think in all the three aspects, the advantage that we have delivered is best in class. It's better than any of the other implementations that we are aware of. And there is very clearly a client acknowledgement of the fact that we've actually gone way beyond their expectations when they actually started this project.
What do you think the future holds for conversational AI? I mean, when do you think it will fulfill its full potential?
So I think conversational AI is pretty good the way it exists today. But conversation, what is really a conversation between two human beings? A conversation is spoken words, it is the body language, it is the facial expressions. It's the coming together of all three. Today's technology captures the first part rather well, right? I mean, the spoken word, even if you speak as two human beings would speak to each other, it does a pretty good job of capturing that. What it does not do today is to read the body language and the facial expressions, which give a major clue to the intent of the person who you're interacting with. It's this intent that we are missing in the conversational AI technology today. There's a lot of work that is happening in this area. There are some experiments, some of them partially commercialized or in the business context as well, that are happening. And I believe in the next 5 to 7 years, and if I have to put a date, I would say 2027 would be the year when intent aspect of a conversation also becomes a part of the mainstream conversational AI technology. So I would say 2027 is when the full potential of conversational AI is delivered to business.
Well, you've given us a lot to think about there. Sanjeev Gulati from Virtusa, thank you very much indeed for talking to us today.
Thank you, Alistair.